This weekend, we celebrate the 92nd Academy Awards, and like usual, the Oscars are gonna be pretty white. We thought we had breakthroughs with Black Panther being nominated for Best Picture and Moonlight winning the Best Picture award. Spike Lee won an award for a movie about a black Klansman. Surely we would see some love this year too, right? Wrong. According to the Academy, no movie starring black actors or directed by a black person were worthy to be recognized at this year's show. Not Just Mercy, The Last Black Man in San Francisco, Waves, Us, or Dolomite Is My Name. Oh wait, they did recognize Harriet, a movie about a slave. On today's episode of The Real World, I'm gonna chat with some actors, a filmmaker, and some regular folks to see what people really think about the Oscars. How do you feel? Do you feel like more of our stories will be recognized by the Academy?
I care and don't care at the same time.
I'll show you some more of that interview with Issa Rae and Lakeith Stanfield later, but first, let's talk about diversity. Imagine you're a 7-year-old child and you have a coloring book about a dog with clothes and no sex organs who can't seem to figure out how to watch a movie on his iPad. You're really excited about this coloring book because you've been waiting all year to actually color it. So your mother buys you a box of crayons, but you gotta wake up at 5 in the morning in order to get this box of crayons. But when you open the box, it's filled with 16 beige crayons. You'll be pissed, right? Well, this is what it's like being a black movie lover. We rarely get to see ourselves in a room, but we watch for the dresses or for the love of the beige crayon that we actually like. But there is hope because one of the beige crayons actually stood up and said, "Hey, there's way too many beige crayons in this box." Thanks, Joaquin. He's nominated for Best Actor for his role in The Joker, a movie based in the DC comic book world. So I figured I'd chat with Rafi, who's also in the DC comic book world, but on a TV show called Black Lightning. He plays Devontae Jones on the series. He also played D1 college football, and he made the switch into acting. Let's see what he thinks about the Oscars. Where you been on Black Lightning, being an up-and-coming actor, what do you think about the Oscars?
Man, the more I grow in my career and, the possibility of one day being a part of this award show becomes a reality, it starts to hit me more of the difficulties that people that look like us face.
Because they don't see us.
They don't. And it's frustrating because it's like last year, one movie that really sticks out to me particularly is Waves.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm from Miami.
Yeah, Waves one of my favorite movies of the year. I think I put it as my favorite movie of the year.
It was definitely one of my favorites, and it had so many good performances. Like, I went into that movie blind, aside from Sterling K. Brown, you know? And it hit me like, wow, this is a beautiful film. It's it's so original, it's clean, it's fresh, and the performances from everyone were amazing to me.
Yeah. But they didn't even see it. They didn't even look at it.
That's what frustrated me the most. There's no way that you saw that movie and didn't think it deserved some kind of, at least one nomination,
Yeah.
And to me, it's frustrating. And I started doing more research on the Academy, and you go and you see the heads and of the people that are on the board, and it's a lot of white faces.
Yeah.
And I'm not typically the type of person that automatically attributes things to race, but it's like if you're in a position where you're so blind to the reality that we face, how can I expect you to even consider our truths?
So we talked a little bit about how, as black creatives, the Oscars don't really see us.
Yeah.
They don't respect our art in a way that it deserves to be respected. But when you look at the alternative, which I think is possibly the NAACP Image Awards, how do you hold that up compared to an Oscar?
Just me as an actor, what I realize and that's unfortunate about our industry and us in the industry is that a lot of actors get to a certain point where they stop acknowledging those awards. And for me, it's so important to acknowledge those awards because, like it's often said, you can't always go where you're tolerated, you gotta go where you're celebrated. And I feel like often those awards aren't held to a high standard because the people that are at that standard aren't supporting it.
Well, I think the Image Awards, everyone who's nominated goes to the Image Awards.
Well, yeah.
Like Denzel was at the Image Awards. He had that great speech where he stole my
but I think Denzel's
line.
a different case, though.
Yeah.
Because Denzel is definitely supportive of the black
Denzel, Oprah, Will Smith, they all go to the Image Awards. They just don't be like, I'm an Image Award recipient.
Yeah.
I think they go and they
that's
attend.
Fair. That's fair, but I think you also got to kind of like give it that love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because me as an actor, and you mentioned Will Smith, that's my hero. If he were to hold that award to a higher standard, like he holds the Oscar, it's like, to me, it's like, damn, if he values it, why can't I? Because it's different. Yeah, if my little cousin gives me something, I'm gonna be happy about it. But if I don't show him that I'm really genuinely loving that he's giving me this, how is he gonna learn what he's giving me is valuable?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I say when I mean that. Yeah, they attend, but it's not only the NCAA. Image Awards. It's just all of the award shows just show us love that we don't show. Like I was talking to my friend the other day about the BET Awards. Man, when I was 8, 9, the BET Awards was a huge deal. Yo, Michael Jackson and James Brown performed at the BET Awards. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and it's come to a point where like those awards don't get any love anymore. So it's like, not only if
why is that the case though? I have a theory about it, but I'm interested to know, why do you think that's the case?
Genuinely, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't. And I would love to hear your theory, because you might bring something to light.
So, NAACP Image Awards.
Yeah.
I think the nominees for Best Actor off the top of my head is Michael B. Jordan. I think Sterling K. Brown for Waves is in there, which is a dope thing.
Yes.
But also, they have Winston Duke nominated for Best Actor. And I love Winston Duke. I think he's dope.
Yeah.
But I don't think he deserved recognition for us. When you look at someone like Aldous Hodge in Clemency, or the Brian Banks story, which could have deserved that spot, which is actually snubbed. Or you look at Jonathan Majors for Last Black Man in San Francisco. That's type of movie that could have been there rather than Winston Duke and us. And I think when that happens, it makes it hard for us to take awards like that seriously.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's kind of like a participation award.
And it's also like the boards. I guess I play football, so I'll put in this sense. No one's gonna take coaches that are of value aren't gonna go to D3 schools. But as soon as that one coach takes a chance, and then another coach takes a chance, another coach, now D3s are held at the same standard as D1s. So I feel like those people that are in this film industry of power and that know this art, if they were to take the chance and be like, you know what, I'm gonna help this one grow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna help this one grow. Because everything starts at a certain level.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like the academy started at a certain level, and it is where it is because of all these years that it put in.
So you think white people view black movies as like a D3 school?
Do you?
That is crazy.
Do you don't agree?
To an extent, yeah. I mean, when you look at stuff like Get Out, which should have won, it was way better than The Shape of Water. Like, no one's looking at The Shape of Water. You know what a great revolutionary movie is? The Shape of Water.
Yeah.
She ate eggs, popped off to a fish, and slept with him. Like,
I didn't understand that movie didn't hit me.
No.
But when I watched Get Out, I lost my mind. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and it's not me saying that our art is D3 level.
Yeah.
It's me saying that we're not giving the respect.
It's someone scoring 100 points in D3 versus someone scoring 20 points in a D1 league, and I think that sucks when they think of us that way.
To me, it's like, yo, at the end of the day, I scored 100 points.
Yeah.
Like, hey, at the end of the day, you watch this movie, you can't tell me that's not good acting.
They got to see us.
You can't tell me that this isn't a good story.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that the cinematography isn't beautiful. You can't.
Yeah.
If you are a true studier of this art, there's no way you're going to look me in the eyes and tell me that these movies aren't good movies.
Yeah.
And they don't deserve this recognition.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what happens when it comes to these different award shows. It's just like, it's so much love is put into the Academy, which deservingly so. It's been built over for the past 91 years. Mm-hmm. But it's at the same time, like, you got to acknowledge and show love to these other award shows. Because if you, essentially the Academy is almost like a monopoly.
Someone said to me, he said, we haven't gotten any further than when Hattie won the first Oscar. And that shit blew my mind. Yeah. But yeah, I got to go run to the dentist. I want to thank you very much, yo, bro.
Course,
let's hang out and grab a drink.
Of course, definitely. Man.
Absolutely.
A pleasure.
Peace. Rafi is dope, and you can follow him at Rafi is dope on Instagram. But after that conversation, I realized that being a black actor is like loving someone who will never truly love you back. You'll never get the ring. You'll only get screwed. So how does the lack of diversity affect the average black viewer? For that, I decided to kill two birds with one stone. As I said, I had to go to the dentist, and my dentist is a successful black dentist and mother named Dr. Manning. I had to go check her out to get some tooth work, so I got her opinion on movies. Yeah, the tooth came off, man.
Okay, you got the
I don't have it. Don't need that.
We're gonna be here all day.
Oh,
Okay,
I'm
that's
sorry.
okay.
I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
okay. So guess what?
What?
I was like, wait a minute, he wants something for the Oscars?
You don't know?
I was like going through the list of stuff that's nominated.
You ain't seen none of them?
I ain't seen it.
That's exactly what I want.
No, it's not.
That's exactly what
and
I
then
want.
I know like certain movies that I did see, like didn't get nominated. Like Dolomite and Jordan Peele. Us.
That's exactly what I was talking about. Because I feel like the Oscars don't recognize us as black creators. They don't see our stories.
That's that's a given for sure.
So in a time like this, when the Oscars don't nominate any of our movies, you won't even watch them.
Right.
Yeah.
Like really right now, what's the point of me watching it?
Little Women was good. I'm just playing. I haven't even seen Little Women.
I wouldn't watch it. So my daughter's back there, so she's chilling. But like that's something like award shows we do together.
Yeah.
But I need her to see representation.
Yeah.
So if there's no representation, why we?
There's one representation,
Harriet, of course.
and that's a slave. Maybe the greatest slave of them all, but a slave nonetheless. I mean, if we were ranking the slaves, Harriet would be the best slave, wouldn't she? It's either Harriet and Nat Turner.
No, we'll stick with Harriet.
Yeah.
Little girl power in that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll stick. You're right. And so you think about it, like, is that what they see us as? Slaves or Denzel for Training Day or criminals.
Or a maid or the help.
Yeah.
Or the help.
I mean, can we not get more? I mean, that's more realistic roles for us.
We had a movie with Get Out, which was revolutionary, game-changing.
But wasn't that, wasn't
lost.
that last year?
It was two
18.
years ago.
18.
And
So that being so frequent, I mean, not that long ago, why not? Like, it's just a complete 360.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. That makes no sense. And so, what do we do if the representation isn't there?
And that's what I was saying. I was telling my friend that I think the only alternative for us would be the NAACP Image Award.
It's supposed to be about celebrating their people's artistry.
Yeah.
So who cares if they haven't been out in a while? If they give a great performance and they know their craft, why not give them their just due?
Yeah. And I just think it's really interesting to see how our people are going to take these Oscars because we don't see ourselves.
We've already checked out.
But we go to the movies every week. Every week, or at least watching one on Netflix every week.
That whole buying power situation.
Yeah.
We will always do entertainment, anything entertainment based. But we do go to bat for us in movies. So if you have a black actor or actress in a movie, we will support. We're going to see it.
Yeah.
And we're the people that bring the numbers.
I don't even think, other than Joker, isn't a black person in any of these films. Any of the best picture films, I don't think. I got to go back and check, but I don't think, and Joker, they're just secondary characters. They're not even supporting. They're just kind of just like background characters.
Nobody was in the Tarantino movie, right?
No, not a black person in the Tarantino movie. Who he normally does, and I like Tarantino.
Yeah, right.
I haven't seen Ford and Ferrari yet. I'm going to watch that soon, but I don't think there's a black person in there, not of any significance role. Definitely not Little Women. Jojo Rabbit. No, they don't really care about us, which sucks.
But I am surprised that given the trend and what type of movies we get nominated for, that Hustler didn't do anything.
Yeah, that was a shock too.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's no point for me to watch.
Crazy part about dental work is that it always hurts. Like I don't think it really hurts because she's, like I said, she's gentle. But I saw a Little Shop of Horrors when I was a kid, and it scarred me for life. Like for life.
Don't worry, it's not gonna hurt.
Don't listen to her.
It's gonna hurt?
No, it's not gonna hurt.
Don't listen to her.
Don't worry, you can trust the kid.
Oh my God. So people are checking out. A lot of black people won't even really watch the Oscars. They'll check out the red carpet photos and call it a day. So I'm gonna head over to talk to Alex the Pale Man, who is a filmmaker and he works at a movie theater, to see what he thinks about this year's Oscars.
We're about to start the Atlanta Jewish Film Festival, and we also have the Academy Award nominations currently playing. We've just gotten about the short blocks for the live action shorts and the animated shorts.
Oh, cool. My friend is actually nominated for animated short.
Well, which one's this?
Matthew Cherry, Hair Love. Yeah.
I've been hearing great things about that.
Yeah. You guys are showing it here?
Yes,
Oh,
we have it
great.
in one of the blocks.
So question, when you see someone like the career trajectory of Quentin Tarantino,
How do you look at that? Because he's nominated for an Oscar. Like, how do you look at that compared to where you are right now in your career?
Well, the one thing that I have to take away is I'm not the next him. I'm not the next whichever my favorite director is. I have to be myself. I have to admire that, like, some people have gotten lucky, some people have gotten where they are through hard work, and some people just kind of fall into it, surprisingly. But you can't just try to recreate that yourself because the elements just aren't there. You have to work with your surroundings, your people, everything else. But I think that actually does pose a big problem because Tarantino is so likable and mainstream, and he has this way with words that, like, everybody wants to be him nowadays. He's not the one I have my money on this year, though.
Yeah. Who do you have? So you're paying attention to the Oscars. You're really watching the Oscars, all that. Who are you looking forward to, or what are you looking the most about the Oscars?
What really surprised me this year was how much love Parasite by Bong Joon-ho got. If you saw that one.
Yeah, I saw it.
And that one caught my eye because it was the first film, the first South Korean film to win the Palme d'Or at Cannes, which was historical enough. And then it wins Best Foreign Film at the Golden Globes. And now it has multiple nominations in not just Best Foreign Film at the Academy, but also around here. Yeah. Now, I know that we do have a problem with diversity in a lot of the nominees this year, but the fact that we do have a South Korean filmmaker who is getting this much praise, I think it's definitely a stepping stone. It's probably not the one that we are expecting, but it's definitely a start, especially last year. I know that when Green Book took away Best Picture, a lot of us were very upset. I was definitely upset.
Why were you upset?
I didn't think it was too safe of a choice. You know, we had a lot of daring films that year definitely. But
what was daring like? I knew it was gonna win. But for several reasons. What was last year? I forget. I know it was Stars Born, which was okay.
Stars Born was also the safe bet that year, but the surprising one that maybe actually got my hopes up a little bit was Roma.
But the first hour of Roma is so boring. I watched Roma and I was like, this is boring as hell. This is such a boring film. And then halfway through it, I'm like,
you start to
what?
get it, you know?
Yeah. I'm all in. Well, you got to sit through that first hour. If you can get through that first hour, it's one of the best films.
It draws you in because you want the camera to cut away. But it keeps rolling. And then when that one scene happens, that one scene that left not a single dry eye in the audience, you're just wanting it to cut away. But nope, it keeps going and it keeps grinding into you.
So let's go back 2 years ago. 2 years ago, Get Out is the front runner and the favorite to win the Oscar. Black person direct, but it didn't win the Oscar. They gave it to The Shape of Water, which I didn't like at all. What do you think about that year? Like, could they give the Best Picture to a minority, a diverse person?
I would say never, but it would seem like that. It would seem like a lot of the films that have came up this year are really popular, kind of stylish movies. Like the one that we have the most nominations for is Joker, which I'm surprised it actually did make it as far as it did.
Because it's not an Oscar film.
It's not an Oscar film at all. It's trying to be a dark, edgy kind of Martin Scorsese like drama of some kind. And it's interesting to know that a comic book movie has the most nominations.
Yeah, I think 1917 is going to win because I think the majority of the votes will be split between the Joker and Parasite, and I think 1917 is everyone's number 2 film.
It is.
So I think it's going to win.
It's definitely the safer bet because I know Joker, people suddenly have like a lot of bad blood to it.
Yeah.
Everyone was loving it like 6 months ago, and now it feels like everyone's really sick of it.
I mean, I just think I really want there to be diversity in the Oscars, and I don't think I'm at a point right now in my life where I don't know if I don't really take them seriously as the end-all be-all of movies anymore, because this year the nominees are very, very disappointing. They didn't see anyone black other than a slave movie, Harriet, which was okay. Cynthia Erivo was one of the best actresses in the game right now, I think up and coming, but I don't think that she deserves to be nominated for that role. It was okay, the movie was okay. It wasn't what Lupita did in Us.
I'm actually more disappointed that Waves isn't nominated.
Same.
Like Sterling K. Brown should be nominated for Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, because he came off as a really complicated figure, and I appreciate him for that because I liked him in People vs. O.J. Simpson.
Right. And he's so lovable in This Is Us. He's putting together all these characters who are totally different and 100% believable, which is more than a lot of these actors that are nominated can do. Adam Driver, I love him. I think he's super dope. But I always see a little bit of Adam Driver in all of his characters, and he's nominated for an Oscar. So
He is.
again, so I don't know. I feel like they need to see brown and yellow, and they don't see brown and yellow as much as they need to. They're like, here's one, we're good, we're done. That's all.
Maybe the problem is more just like how movies are marketed nowadays. I didn't know that these movies were even coming out because I'm not seeing ads for them.
In the shows that I watch on television, I saw 100 trailers for The Photograph. You probably see it in the theater, but don't necessarily see it on television as much. And that just sucks. So we don't talk to each other. Even in movies, even in commercials, we don't talk to each other. I think that sucks a lot. I want to see you in the Tyler Perry movie.
You know, I wouldn't mind that.
We spoke to Alex, and he had a lot to say about the Oscars. But now, let's go see what some more established actors and filmmakers have to say about this year's Academy Awards. I spoke to Issa Rae, Lakeith Stanfield, and Stella Meghie, who are in the highly anticipated film, The Photograph. Let's see what they have to say about the Oscars. Do you feel like more of our stories would be recognized by the Academy?
I care and don't care at the same time. You know, you want an objective, I think you can strive for an objective award show that just nominates what's good, and that won't ever happen, you know? So I can't say anything either way. It kind of just is what it is till it's not.
I mean, I don't really think about that as I'm writing or directing. Like, I want to make something quality that will stand the test of time. But you can't really control how a system that is not built for you will respond to something. So, you know, Oscars, there's so many factors into why you would get nominated. So I leave that part to other people and you know, just try to keep it pushing.
Us getting in the positions to really have a sort of neutral judging point by which we can approach these things without all the politics and other things involved. Then I think we can have an honest discussion about it. I think we're going to continue to do what we've been doing, and that's expanding upon stories and giving our best and doing what we do best. And if ain't nobody else going to love it, we going to love it. So.
For years, the Oscars have been the end-all, be-all of what's great in Hollywood. But until they start respecting content created by Black, brown people, I don't think they could be the top tier of what's amazing in Hollywood.
Let me give you some stats. Only 11 Black women have been nominated for the Best Actress Award. 4 of those women coming within the last decade, and just 2 Black women being nominated for Best Actress between 1975 and the year 2000. And in 2001, that's when Halle Berry made history by becoming the first Black woman to win the Best Actress Award. But in the 2 decades since, not a Black woman has even been considered to win the award, only nominated. When we go to the men, we'll do Best Director. Only 6 Black men have been nominated to win the Best Director award in the 92 years of the Oscars being on television. And no Black man has ever won that award, as if none of them even deserved it. And we know that's not the case. Spike Lee should have won. Jordan Peele should have won. There's probably been numerous others who I can't think about who should have won that award.
Why isn't Waves nominated? Why isn't Lupita nominated? Why isn't Jennifer Lopez nominated for Hustlers? Until they start respecting our content, can we really take them seriously?